About it. Apparently it's a thinly veiled story of your own background. I wrote a book such as that myself once. No?
Yes, no.
Okay. Well, it looks really funny. It's called Tickled Pink. She's also, of course, a regular at New York, in Las Vegas. Maria Van Peebles, good to have you back here, sir. It's been a little too long. You are playing Malcolm X in Ali, which opens Christmas Day. Good for you. That should be a good one. And Cheri Jacobus, we've had you here many times before, political strategist, former spokesperson for the Republican National Committee. Welcome back.
Thank you.
And, of course, Bonaduce, a bad person who became a good person. His book, Random Acts of Badness. His story. You also have your radio show, your TV show. Give a hand to this panel, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I told you they were saving it.
There they go. God bless them.
All right. Well, the theme for this show tonight is going to be young people and what comes out of their mouths. I want to talk about the traitor boy soon, you know, Johnny Walker. But before I do, I want to talk about little Charlotte Church. We had her on the show once. She was delightful. I love this little scam. And she is in a big mess of trouble, which many of us can relate to. She said she was in New York on November 12th. Her Good Morning America appearance got canceled because there was another mishap in the air that apparently was just, you know, mechanical problems. She took a tour of America following the terrorist attacks. It left her unimpressed. She said, quote, everyone there has to relate themselves to it. She's talking about America. She said, everyone there has to relate themselves to it. They are like, yeah, my neighbor's dog's owner's sister's dog was involved, but he got out just in time. People over-dramatize and lose perspective. She also thought that the firefighters shouldn't have been invited to give out awards. She said they were even invited here to present television awards, which I just don't agree with. Now, you could say she's a 15-year-old. She doesn't know what she's talking about.
That's what I was going to say. She's 15.
That's not what I'm going to say.
I wished, you know, I pay about as much attention and give about as much credibility to what this 15-year-old non-American girl says as adults, you know, the attention they pay to me when I spoke when I was 15.
All right, well, I'm going to tell you, I sort of agree with it, so you can pay attention to me, because I'm 45.
You know, the thing is this, really, I'm an actor and I'm here. He wrote a book. I mean, he's got a radio show. So Americans tend to sort of deify people, get to be celebrities. We listen to football players tell us what toothpaste to use. I think it's a part of our tradition, don't you? I mean, we sort of take the guy that wins lotto, we get him on there.
The way that Charlotte said it may unimpress you. Let me try it this way. My sister's dog's owner's third cousin was in there, and I care because he was an American, and someone killed him, and I'm mad. That's why I care.
I would agree with that. And I don't think that what this girl said is, I don't think she represents 15-year-olds in America. I mean, we've seen kids.
She doesn't. No, she doesn't. Much brighter.
We've seen kids help raising money.
15-year-old foreign equals about 60 in America.
But you know what? See, the thing
but she's a singer, which cancels out.
Right. But then she didn't say dude once, but that's worth something.
But you see, the world has been dealing with terrorism and things of this nature for a much longer period of time as we know it. We're very young, and this is the first time on our shores.
Yeah, but that was a horrendous tragedy. You cannot overstate that tragedy.
No, you can't. But I think
but I'm agreeing with you. I think that's why, and some people did some very heroic things.
Yes, they
but
did.
this is new to us.
But I'd like to remind
We're stepping up to the plate. We're stepping up to the plate, and unfortunately, Charlotte Church doesn't see it that way.
Who is stepping up to the plate, though?
I think all Americans.
All Americans, really, by doing what? What are they doing?
Politicians in particular have put aside. Let me finish. Have put aside their partisanship, and they're backing this president. They're keeping a close eye on him, but they're backing the president and the administration. You've seen Americans do things they've never. You've seen people raising money, doing everything they can to help the victims' families. This is not something that we're forgetting about. This is not something that was a big deal for a week and now we move on. This is embedded in us, and I think that's a good thing. I think the country has changed for the better because of the way we've responded to this.
Yeah, and I would like to remind Ms. Church, if possible, that in America,
I think that tepid applause.
When When an American little girl is found listening to a Charlotte Church record, everybody thanks God it wasn't Britney Spears. You know, in Afghanistan, a little girl's found listening to a Charlotte Church record. She's shot in the head in a soccer field.
Yeah,
I think
well,
that
has nothing to do with what she's saying.
It does. It makes it.
No,
she trivialized it.
She says everyone there. No, she didn't. She's saying everyone in America, basically, everyone there has to relate themselves to it.
What's the next line?
They are like, yeah, my neighbor's dog. That whole thing which you.
And what's the next line?
Very good.
People overdramatize and lose perspective.
How can you overdramatize what happened?
Because people act like the building fell on them.
No, no, they don't, Bill. They act like it fell on several thousand fellow Americans.
Well,
that's what we're acting like.
You know what? How are you acting like that? What are you actually doing? You're putting a flag on your car?
Yeah.
Is that really changing?
Yeah.
When I drive down the street and I see this big Christmas display of all these lights, is that helping? No. That's using a lot of oil, which we have to buy from the people who are trying to kill us. So, like, people haven't really changed.
I disagree.
They have superficially changed.
People were given records amount of money, support, and time. The fire department from California flew to New York to offer at their own expense. Nobody flew the firemen from New York.
You know, the other thing, though, it's also interesting as it falls, because when you talk to different groups, like black folks in this country have been dealing with terrorism for years. The bombing of the church, the 16th Street Church in Birmingham, was a terrorist act.
Right.
So when you talk to different people that have had a different kind of treatment, they're sort of weathered in a different way, and I think it's new to a lot of folks in a big way. A lot of dot-commers there suddenly re-examining their life. Suddenly saying, is it worth it just working for the money? People re-examining their relationships. My friends in New York were saying right after that, you wanted to be with someone real. You wanted to be, if you were going to see a movie now, you wanted to be with someone that meant something to you, whether it was your kids or. So I think people are
what I read is that people were having more sex.
Well, which is good.
Okay, but it's not exactly sacrifice, is it?
But you're saying.
I mean, you're saying people have changed. People have absorbed this to very often do what they wanted to do anyway. We got to shop. That's what the president says. Spend more money. Shop till they drop.
Maybe you didn't finish the quote. There's a distinct possibility of having more sex with ugly people. You don't know. There's a chance they're giving.
Well, they are giving. But, you know, and what she says about the firefighters, I mean, she didn't phrase it well, but I think what she's saying is...
She would have if she had been singing it. She would have phrased it beautifully.
She has an incredible voice. I think what she was saying was that a hero should be different than a celebrity. And why do we have to celebrify everything? Isn't a hero on a much higher... pedestal than a celebrity. It is in my book.
These are true heroes who are now becoming celebrities rather than the other way.
Why do
we usually do it, which is take a celebrity and make them a hero?
Why does our society have to make everyone a celebrity? Isn't being a hero, isn't that up here to make them a celebrity? What our society is really saying is you're a hero, but you want to really be something? Be a celebrity.
But you know what?
There's one notch above hero, and that's celebrity.
Those firefighters didn't go into those burning buildings because they wanted to be celebrities. They were doing their jobs and it made them heroes.
We're not talking about them. She's talking about how society treats them.
Bill, do you feel that by doing that...
She's talking about us.
Well, how about the way we're treating her? She's 15 years old.
Do you feel that by doing that we're somehow diminishing what they did?
I think a celebrity.
Is there danger in doing that?
I think a celebrity is far less than a hero. Yes.
But if we take someone that was a hero, that they did an act, they put themselves on a line, and then you say, okay, they're going to open this, they're going to open the stock exchange, they're going to be on this thing.
No, I think that's okay. I object a lot more to people. I've said this before on the show, wearing the fireman's cap, wearing the policeman's cap. I think that should only be worn by the people who are in those departments. That's a lot of, that's people like taking the sense of the hero and putting it on them. I think these guys should be given their rest. They have done true heroic stuff. Let them rest a little bit. We're like so into like honoring them so that we ourselves don't have to do anything or be heroic. We are using them, I think, a little bit.
Let me ask you something, Bill. We're talking about celebrity. Why would we care what a 15-year-old girl says about this if she weren't a celebrity?
That's a very good point.
Yeah, that's a valid point. But I think that what we've done here...
But, you know, but another point would be, how come a 15-year-old has to say it?
Oh, everybody, a lot of people have said it. You've said it. I think what you're forgetting is that a guy did a heroic act, and we saw a lot of him, and he became, by process, a celebrity. Everybody saw that cop sing, and a wow, and a tear in the eye, and the next thing he's in an award show. I was much more offended that the cast of Survivors showed up as invited guests at the Academy Awards.
Yeah,
that
I mean, we're here, we're honoring people who have done something.
Who have done something.
And if they want to do it,
the fat naked guy.
We were... If Jordan's a hero, we wear his sneakers. If you know, it
can't be an honoring a fireman by saying, "I love the firemen. I'm wearing their cap." Why is it? Why is it
I'm going to
taking
buy a
from
CD.
Well, it is because it's saying to the world, you know what? I'm really them.
But I think
it isn't bringing too much of them.
Don't we want to honor something that we want in ourselves, that we kind of want to see? Isn't they take something we say, that's the best of us, and we want to honor that.
But would you wear a Medal of Honor? If it was awarded to me, I mean to me that's their version of the medal. Would you wear a Medal of Honor? You didn't win the Medal of Honor. Why should you wear the cap? Why should anyone wear the cap but those guys?
I'm not a big supporter of the wear of the cap. You know, if you pay $10 for the cap and the cap goes to the Fireman's Fund, you get to wear the hat.
But a lot of people
You're having a bad hair day and you like firemen, you're allowed to wear the cap.
Yeah, I think it's right up there. I think it's right up there with the flags on the car right now. I think it's a show of solidarity for folks. It's a chance to come out and be patriotic on that level. But you're right. If you want to get off their oil, get off the grid, man.
When Rita and I used to work in the clubs, there was an act who closed the show. You know, he had a puppet act, but he would blast "Start Me Up" by the Rolling Stones through the, and he was a good act. It was puppets, but a lot of what people were responding to was the fact that Mick Jagger was going, well, that's the cap. Right. You know, it's the cap. I mean, it's not really you, it's the fireman. It's not really the puppet, it's Mick Jagger.
You mean if I got a cap, I'd get in places better?
I think you can get in anyway. All right, I got to get out. We're late.
I am so glad I didn't wear a cap.
All right, let's talk about the traitor boy, as I said. Johnny Walker, he's 20 years old. They do not know what to do with him, but I'm going to make a prediction, see if you agree. I think that in this society, where any image can be rehabilitated, where any wrong can be redressed if you just repent and come up with a good excuse, I think this kid is a super cut and an Oprah appearance away from being just, you know, welcomed back into society, whereas in another era he would be actually hung.
Right. I think he's one misstep away from activating. I think it's Article 3, Section 3 of the Constitution where we shoot him. And I think he should be shot. And I will tell you this, first of all, and I'm not kidding, who changes their name from Johnny Walker to Abdul Hamed? You know, it's just like he had the coolest name ever. Why would you do that? So he goes over there, and he says that he had knowledge of the September 11th attacks. In my estimation, he should be shot for treason. It's clear cut.
A lot of Americans agree with him.
Even, and I don't think this would ever happen, if he were ever rehabilitated, he would still be a hard guy to bring home to your family. Let's review. Good grades in high school, college, fought for the Taliban. Never going to work.
On the resume.
Never going to work.
I don't think the American people are going to forgive this guy, and I don't even think that's the issue. I mean, this is treason, and you can be executed in this country for treason. Right now, there isn't any American, I don't think they're out trying to save him. He's trying to save his own tail.
But is it treason or sedition? Do we know?
It's treason.
No, this
is it definitely treason?
We have to have two witnesses, but he's now trying to save his own neck by telling everything he knows and is actually being of great help to the authorities, but I don't think the American people are going to forgive him. No. We may let him live.
And I think that's a great wrong.
So he's already on his way if he's cooperating, you know, with the authorities, right? Now, what if he says that he was on opium? Because, you know, Osama smokes he's on the pipe.
I was on opium. I never talked to the Taliban.
Okay, so he's on. So what? Okay, what if it was a youthful indiscretion? You know, his father's already saying, you know, 20. That boy, it was bad judgment.
It was a phase.
That boy, when I get him home, he's been hanging out with the wrong crowd.
Everyone goes for that Taliban phase.
My theory on this, is that he should be killed. And I'll tell you, if you want to say he's 20, in World War II, 100,134 20-year-old Americans died for their cause. He can die for his.
People have, I mean, Patty Hearst was brainwashed. Patty Hearst got rehabilitated in society. She robbed a bank with a machine gun.
Patty Hearst did pay for an international flight to visit the SLA.
Guys, do any of us really know enough? I mean, about it. I mean, did he join the Taliban when? And because we were in at war with the Taliban for just very recent.
Well, we should have been.
Yeah, I'm not saying we shouldn't be, but just that's post 9/11. I'm not sure we really know enough.
Okay, but
to dance on the guy's finger.
Well, wait a sec. He knew. Another one of the excuses is that one of the people said he had no Western news brought to him, no cell phone, no computer, nothing. In other words, he was in the dark. What a bunch of crap.
Right.
Okay. They all celebrated 9/11. They all knew about it. So after that happened, and he stayed with the people who were trying to kill us, I think that's pretty clear.
And when he sat around and watched some lady that showed this much, too much of her face be beaten with clubs in the street and stuck around thinking these were the good guys, he made a wrong call in my book.
But I'm saying, what if he came back, he goes on Oprah, he gets a nice haircut, he says, I was smoking opium, it was a youthful indiscretion,
Could you imagine if this guy were Hispanic or a brother? Oh.
And
there's no way that'll happen.
No, man, you get pulled over.
And I caused pain in my marriage. What if he said all that?
And what was the last one?
And I caused pain in my marriage. You know, just all the good.
I think those years are gone forever. This country has been too wounded by September 11th. We're not going to forgive this guy. At a minimum, he'll rot in jail. We may let him live. He betrayed his country.
Doesn't the Son of Sam law apply in any way? Can't there be a no Oprah clause with treason?
He's not going at the most Jerry Springer. He can be on, yeah.
He's not going to be doing any of that.
But treason, his dad says it was bad judgment.
Well, maybe that's part of the problem. He was raised wrong. I don't know. But this guy did things that no other American that we know of has done.
You know, to me, really, it seems like a confused cat who made a series of bad judgments. I mean, you can go down the hood and see some white guy with his hat on backwards trying to do that. You can go to India and see some guy bowing. In every culture, there's a couple Jimmy Carter.
They didn't join the Taliban.
True. I'm just saying where it starts.
At the end of the day, if I get my way and say you're right, he's a confused boy who made a litany of mistakes.
He's 20 years old. He's a man. I'm not going the other way.
At the end of the day, and I get my way, we're just down to one confused boy who makes lots of mistakes. Right. I don't care about this guy at all. I don't care what his excuse.
Daddy gets a youthful indiscretion, Danny. A youthful indiscretion.
I think
he fought for the Taliban. He didn't stay out after the streetlights were on.
He might be a good husband for Charlotte Church.
Okay, we'll take a break. We'll be back. All right, good news. I found Charlotte Church. These are ghetto kids. It's, Christmas is just around the corner, like I have to tell you, and Ramadan is almost over. So it's an interesting time of year. But this is one of the new items for Christmas. They're called Ghetto Kids. Yeah. This is New York. Literally, Ghetto Kid, New York Sammy.
Yeah.
This is...
That's East L.A.
Lupe. I have in my... Right.
Confederate Tammy.
And that's our white trash.
Confederate, right, white trash Tammy.
Traitor Park.
And this is, the Latinos take it on the chin here. The San Juan Carmen, and they come with stories. And the people who make these toys
say... Do they have the Walker doll yet?
The traitor boy?
You pull a string, it dies.
They say they're helping develop healthy discussions about serious issues.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is San Juan Carmen. She comes with a story. She says, I'm homeless. I need a home and loving family. Take me home with you. I have a story. And then you read her story. My mother was a heroin addict. My father was a drug dealer. To get money for her drugs, Mom became a prostitute. They left me in a crack house. I think they forgot about me. The cops found me during...
They took my material.
No, none of them are black.
Isn't that interesting?
No political...
Well, then I'm okay. Don't look my way, damn it.
But the cops found me during a drug raid. They took me to an orphanage, and one day I ran away. Merry Christmas, kids.
Well, okay, that's a little extreme, but isn't it nice to see a doll that isn't perfect? You know? Every doll you see. I was inundated with Barbie for my whole life. I thought it was deformed because my heels touched the ground. You know? I mean, let's at least have some dolls that have some issues.
Well, these kids have...
But look at her eyes. She looks like she's on crack or something.
She is on crack. She's on crack right now.
Oh, that's what it is.
No little kid in America should have to have... I mean, they already have to live with certain stereotypes, and obviously these kids would have issues. No little kid should have to be further stereotyped by having a doll that only outlines their problems and not those things that are good about them.
I would not know where to get heroin for the doll. I wouldn't know where to go. I have
I have a 5-year-old niece, and I know that she's not going to go sit on Santa's lap and say, Santa, forget about rock and roll Barbie. I want my mama's a crackhead doll instead. I mean, it's just not going to happen.
At least have a doll that was a little hippie? You know,
my only problem with them, my only problem is with them that they're elitist. What they're supposed to do is they're supposed to warn kids of the dangers of tobacco, alcohol, drugs, and violence.
How do they do that with a dog?
I have either been arrested for or in rehab to prevent all of those things, and I've never been in a ghetto. So, you know, I just think they're elitist.
Right. You never been in a ghetto?
Well, only to make purchases and then leave immediately.
Well, that's my case. We'll be right back. Bad, Charlotte. No, these ghetto kids cost $40, so please don't waste your money this year on actual ghetto kids.